What is the worst movie you've ever seen? No, I'm not talking about this movie or that movie. I mean a movie so bad, so fundamentally broken, that it leaves a pit in your stomach or makes you feel frustrated and angry beyond any reasonable measure. This is a question I've been asking myself for a while, and I think it's about time to do something about it. So I pulled up the list of the bottom 100 lowest rated movies on IMDb, and I'm going through them one by one to find the worst movie ever. Welcome to the search for the worst. Look, if you don't want to hear what I have to say about religion in any sense, then go off the video. I'm not slamming it particularly, I'm just saying what I think, and some religious people don't like that, so close the video if the idea alone makes you uncomfortable. Don't say I didn't warn you. Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas is a bizarrely uninformed Christian circle jerk masquerading as a movie. It's targeting an audience and subject so specific that I honestly don't even feel comfortable talking about it particularly. But in terms of movie making, Saving Christmas is an utter failure on just about every front possible. There is nothing traditional in the way it tries to convey a story and ultimately feels like a cheap TV movie that belongs on some Bible channel somewhere. I've often avoided talking about religion for a number of reasons, and if you took the Christian slant out of this movie, then you wouldn't exactly have much to talk about, so it's obviously going to be the main subject of this video. I think you can safely guess that I'm not a very religious person at all. I wasn't raised in a religious family, I was never pressured into believing anything, my peers have never been believers. It's just not something I've ever considered to be a significant part of my life. I know that, according to Kirk, atheism preys on fear and prejudice, but it's what I am, so deal with it, mate. I'm kind of getting fed up with these movies that can barely even be classed as movies being featured in this show, but Saving Christmas is another one to add to the ever-growing list.
Santa, Satan, same letters. Right?
I mean, it's so unbelievably specific and forgettable that I can barely muster up the energy to describe anything else to you. So instead, let's watch this funny Minecraft video I found the other day. Try not to cringe too hard.
Hey guys, it's me, Tessa Netting, DreamWorks TV's Master of the Mob, here to build 5 crazy, cool, epic, awesome, funny, weird, wild, unexpected, true facts about Minecraft.
You know what, this whole picking apart movies thing, it's way too tough. This is now a cool, crazy, epic, weird, wild, unexpected Minecraft channel. Apologies, my assaholic shitlets. So, this is my new world. It's a brand new adventure. Let's, build. Who doesn't love to build? Surprise, surprise, everybody, I'm not really a fan of Christmas. I mean, I like the whole family and food aspect, and I like how everyone seems to get excited for it.
It's the one! It's the one!
But apart from that, the whole thing seems like a gross corporate indulgent celebration of excess and obligation. Am I being a Debbie Downer? I feel like I'm being a Debbie Downer. I mean, it is January when I made this, so I'm allowed to at this point, because people will be over it by now until next year, but the premise of this movie is that Kirk Cameron is a hero, and you should adore him because he is perfect and everyone loves him. Forget the fact that his vacant, glazed-over eyes seem completely detached from everything he's supposed to be focused on. That doesn't matter though, because he's Kirk Cameron, everybody, and he's saving Christmas for us all. But how's he saving Christmas, you might be asking? Well, by putting the Christ back in Christmas, that's what. Wink wink, fuck me, Kirk. Effectively, this movie is a bunch of poorly researched reasons and explanations for why we shouldn't be decadent towards Christmas and why we should be fine with commercialism and all the other BS traditions because it can sort of loosely be explained in the Bible when you really look hard enough. Pretty much anything you want can be justified by the Bible if you look hard enough and want it enough. Okay, great, so that's all well and good for some of you Christians out there who love Kirk Cameron, if that's what you're into. I know I certainly am. Except about 70% of this fucking movie is literally Kirk Cameron sat in a car with Gordon Freeman from Half-Life with a bunch of meaningless expository religious guff and a whole lot of shot reverse shot. 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 Shot reverse shot, you get the fucking idea. The word movie is derived from moving picture. Having 2 shots repeat themselves for the overwhelming majority of your movie is hardly a movie. You're sat down in a car talking about Christmas. Wow, what an exciting premise. I'm sure the kids are going to adore it.
What guys?
I have a theory that Kirk Cameron might be an alien. I mean, don't quote me on that. Unless you want to, I guess.
Bro, look at me. Bro, look at me.
But let's look at the warning signs. And the undeniable proof that he's an alien. 1. He is way too happy to be a real human. 2. You can very clearly see him desperately trying to mimic human behavior. But he just comes across like a weird alien trying to replicate human behavior. 3. If you add an L into the letters of Kirk Cameron's name, then believe it or not, you can actually spell out the word alien. Coincidence? Probably, yes. 4. If we take a look at Kirk Cameron's sexy Facebook page, which has well over 2 million likes by the way, like wow, well done Kirk Cameron, you unbridled beast of love. We can clearly see from his various mugshots that he is indeed a confirmed alien. I mean, just look at him for a bit. See? What'd I tell you? And as good old Tammy says, very good looking, inside and out. Smiley face. That's because he is very good looking. Almost too good looking. Perhaps as if he was some kind of alien. Also, how are his eyes still blue in this picture when the rest is black and white? What is this, magic? Alien magic? In the banner picture on his Facebook page, you can very clearly see the crinkles on his alien human fabrication Slovene suit starting to fold. Is Kirk Cameron indeed a Slovene? Well, I went ahead and emailed Area 51 and they replied with, yes. Kirk Cameron is a Slovene from Doctor Who. He escaped, but he's putting the Christ back in Christmas, so we don't mind. The truth is out, Kirk. You don't need to hide it anymore, my beautiful alien companion. Wait, I guess Christians don't believe in aliens because they weren't in the Bible or something, right? Is that a thing? Well, guess what? I just proved that aliens existed in one of your most beloved Christian movie icons. Ain't that a kick in the head? Oh boy. You can call me Alex IHE. I'm putting the atheism back in, I don't know really. Fear and Prejudice? Please buy a shirt, I'm dying over here. There are 2 main reasons why I just spent like 4 minutes dedicated to proving why Kirk Cameron is an alien. The first is that Kirk Cameron is definitely 100% an alien. This is the find of the century, I probably deserve a medal. Secondly, if this trend keeps up of people directly involved with the production of the movies I review actually seeing my videos, then there's a slight possibility that Kirk Cameron might actually see this review, and as a result sit through a 4-minute segment where I accuse him of being an alien. That's the funniest fucking thing in the goddamn universe. Oh yeah, and it was also a good excuse to not have to talk about this boring as sin movie. Get it? Sin? It's like a religious thing, right? Look at the poster. Doesn't it imply that it's going to be at least dumb, goofy fun? I mean, he's got a giant candy cane, there's a huge Christmas explosion, it's exciting. There's also a bunch of money flying around as well. It's either because it's a statement about how Christmas is all about materialism, or Kirk Cameron just loves money, confirmed. Unfortunately, for a good 4 minutes at the very beginning of the movie, it's nothing but an elongated, excruciating scene of Kirk Cameron just straight up talking to the audience about why Christmas is great and explaining the entire point of the movie to the audience as if we're fucking dumb.
Maybe we've got it wrong.
I mean, Kirk, I love you, but you're not the Queen.
I spent Christmas in Malta as a newly married naval wife.
What you're saying right now, isn't this the point of the movie? I mean, we're dumb, but we're not that dumb.
Who's actually on the inside, who's telling us, you know...
I thought you were supposed to be saving Christmas, not telling us why it's so great. We know that already.
And I love hot chocolate.
Well, at least we know that aliens love hot chocolate. Thanks, Kirk. Man, Mr. Cameron, he's so lovable. I just want to cuddle up to him and feel his beard. Is that weird? It sounds weird. Also, that rhymed.
But have you noticed, there's some people who would love to put a big wet blanket on all of this. They don't want us to love Christmas so much and celebrate it the way we do.
Hey, first off, I sleep under a wet blanket, so I resent that statement. Secondly, what's with the creepy long pauses?
Who's telling us,
I swear that either this film is partially improvised, or I guess they just didn't care about making it an actual movie, and just sort of awkwardly made it into this infomercial thing, crudely wrapped up and sold as a movie.
you know, what are they going to do next? Tell us hot chocolate's bad for us? The Druids invented it?
Wait, isn't hot chocolate kind of bad for you though? Like it's chocolate that you drink, right? I don't know for sure, but Yahoo Answers user Abby's mom, seems to think it's fine. I guess she must be an alien too. This whole section is so bizarrely edited. Pauses that would be extremely easy to edit out are just left in, so it comes across like Kirk is a TV presenter or something.
Or maybe...
It's hard to explain, it's really weird. Watching him pretend to drink a whole mug of hot chocolate sure is entertaining though. I'll give you that. So then the movie finally starts, sort of, kind of, almost. There's this really dramatic and fairly well presented, compared to the rest of the movie at least, opening sequence, where this scruffy guy is walking around in the wilderness. You learn who it is later, by the way, it's Santa. Yeah, Santa, the chubby guy with the beard. Yeah. But that doesn't matter, because all this time Kirk is narrating to the audience. He has this whole spiel that basically implies that the true stories behind Christmas have been filtered down and lost because we don't want to give our kids nightmares. Something along those lines. I mean, this movie's so boring, it's hard to actually pay attention to what's going on, really. It's just sort of zoned out a lot of the time. But I think that's what he said.
We thought that maybe the stories were a bit too scary. We got nervous that the wolf or the witch might actually give him nightmares.
Look, I mean, if all this is too complicated for you, the movie has one basic message it's trying to convey if you haven't figured it out already, which is, love Christmas, love Christ. If you don't love Christmas and everything that comes with it, you don't love Christ. I mean, that's what I took away from it, at least. There's this kind of neat little animated segment for the opening credits. I know it wasn't made specifically for the movie or anything, I guess they just had permission to use it, but at least it's better than the insulting Smosh movie animated intro. This movie has a predicted budget of about $500,000, which is excessively low for a movie, and all things considered, at the very least, it's somewhat watchable, kinda. Like, if you blur your eyes a little bit and listen to your iPod, it might be fine to have in the background. I mean, that's hardly a compliment, but... you know. But boy oh boy does the lack of production value really show. The audio is the lighting is pretty bad at times and the camera work is extremely lazy, much like the basic editing. But at least it's not Birdemic, right? Actually, you know what, I can't keep saying, well, at least it ain't Birdemic, because Birdemic is so hilariously incompetent that it's in a league of its own, really. So all in all, whatever, this film is bad, end of. So Mr. Cameron's sister is holding a big Christmas celebration for virtually everybody she knows, because there are like a good 30 people here. Like, is this normal? Like, I do understand having your entire family round to your massive American house, but this must be at least 2 families, right? Or they're just particularly diverse or something? Whatever, it doesn't matter, it's completely irrelevant. The forced family-friendly comedy is so safe that it's kind of gloriously awkward and so unfunny that it actually begins to become just a little bit funny, a smidge of funny.
You really stepped it up this year. You got Santa Claus. Where'd you find him? What do you have to pay a guy like that? It's Uncle Bill.
I adore the way that Kirk almost interviews everyone he talks to. He's a true family man, baby. Seriously though, his body language is very unnatural for the context of this movie. It's really off-putting. Finally, we're introduced to the protagonist. It's Gordon Freeman from Half-Life, everybody. What a meme. Half-Life 3 confirmed and Kirk Cameron saving Christmas? Well, who knows? But you should hate him because he's the asshole Christmas hater of the family who Kirk needs to brainwash into loving Christmas. Now, I actually agree with just about every problem Gordon has with Christmas in this movie. In fact, it's perfectly reasonable what he says and what his problems are. But Kirk and everyone else just treats him like he's some kind of monster.
Some people are determined to see the worst and even the best of things. A big slap in the face to the true meaning of Christmas.
Look, I have no problem with being completely oblivious and enjoying things for what they are. Ignorance is bliss and all that. But talking down to me as if I'm some kind of asshole for having problems with the ideas behind Christmas and what it all represents, well, that's kind of insulting to me. Don't do that, movie.
No. You're all wrong.
I know that this is a movie made by a certain group of Kirk Cameron loving Christians for a certain group of Kirk Cameron loving Christians, but the ultimate moral of the story is don't question or challenge anything that is thrown your way, and as long as it sounds good, then it must be true and everything is okay, just make sure you don't be a Grinch. Seriously, when Kirk really gets into the nitty-gritty of his brainwash mode, Gordon Freeman here lives up to his character and doesn't challenge or question anything he says. Like, he brings up a really specific point about why he doesn't like Christmas.
Explain to me how that Christmas party honors and glorifies Jesus. Because I'm not seeing it. Where do I start?
And then Kirk tells him some random story about why he's wrong.
You're listening to the wrong people.
And then he's like, oh really, that's cool and nice. What's next then? I agree now. You're the best, Kirk.
That's pretty cool. It's awesome.
Hey movie, I don't care about justifying Christmas trees because they're sort of loosely mentioned in the Bible, if you look hard enough. Can you actually entertain me or teach me something interesting? Thanks. Honestly, this film didn't anger me at all when I first saw it, as you can probably tell from the trying to watch.
Oh, fuck off. Did you hear that?
Satan.
Santa's Satan! Yes!
Santa, Satan, same letters.
But now that I've actually thought about it and analysed it, I actually find this highly insulting to everything I stand for.
Now see Christmas through new eyes.
I don't have a problem with you being religious, I really don't. It's cool beans, and if it makes you happy and you're not hurting anyone, then good for you. But in this movie, they use it as an excuse to be ignorant and pass off perfectly reasonable criticisms of things just because it's convenient and feels good. It's a type of behavior I simply cannot endorse. It's called lying to yourself. This shit's getting too deep for me. It's Kirk Cameron saving Christmas, everybody. God. The movie itself even brings up points about why Christmas celebrates commercialism, greed, holiday junk, materialism, etc. And as a result, you'd kind of expect it at some point to counter itself and say, well, this is why it's fine and good for everybody. But it never does. Well, at least in any way that's more meaningful than, presents are nice, aren't they? And gorging yourself on food is tasty. Decorations are pretty. It's all, you just enjoy Christmas because it's something in the Bible. Here we go. Look there. It's all cool, everybody. Just enjoy it or you're a Grinch. It's so superficial and obvious that I'm getting madder and madder the longer I have to describe it to you. It's really pissing me off, actually.
When God created the world, he filled it with trees.
It's effectively propaganda. Shouldn't the idea of a movie about religion be to open more people up to why it's important and why we should believe in it, or at least respect it? I remember when I saw Life of Pi. It was really eye-opening for me and made me respect and appreciate religion in ways I'd never even thought about before. It made me more thoughtful as a person because the subject was handled with such care, appreciation, and respect. And almost most importantly, it didn't talk down to anyone, and it just let you decide for yourself. The setup is kind of perfect in this movie. I mean, aside from all the bad lighting, bad editing, bad everything. You know, on paper. You have this guy, he doesn't like Christmas very much. Me. Has a very specific set of problems that hold him back from liking it. Me. Doesn't want to take part in it particularly. Me. I mean, wouldn't this have been a great opportunity to show off why it's so great and important to look at things from a different perspective, maybe? Instead of just saying that how he's feeling is wrong.
You're all wrong.
Then bombarding him with random stories until he feels comfortable enough to storm back into his house and fucking breakdance. Yes. The movie ends with a dance sequence. What is this, fucking robots?
Wow.
Yes!
It's a bizarre and muddled message that reflects a disgustingly narrow-minded and shallow attitude. It perpetuates an extremely ignorant echo chamber opinion, and it does nothing but stroke and play on the insecurities of some Christians, or it's just annoying to you. You know what, even if you are a Christian, this shit would probably really annoy you too. It's completely missing the point entirely. I remember finding this completely awful and cringy video titled, Atheist Intellectually Destroyed by Christian Preacher. Now the majority of the video is just a couple of dudes screaming at each other, proving nothing, learning nothing, and just looking like a big bunch of idiots.
What do you think CERN is?
You can't create out of nothing.
I'm actually considering turning the comments off on this video because I know it's just going to be a big pissing contest like in this clip here. Nothing constructive is going to come from it, no one's going to talk about the movie, and you're just going to tell me to talk about Mars bars anyway, you fucking assholes. If I learned anything from watching interviews and debates with various religious people, it's that you're never going to change their opinion, so what's the point? No matter how much you say that they're wrong,
You're all wrong.
no matter how much you scream or shout,
You're a science denier.
no matter what kind of logic you attempt to apply to it, it always just turns into a big shouting match and I don't want to be a part of it. I've never even seen the show House, but there's a pretty good quote I heard from it. If you could reason with religious people, there wouldn't be religious people. I'll take away from that what you want, but I've decided to come to the conclusion that arguing with a religious person about religion is a complete waste of time for me, because they refuse to engage in logic, and that's how my brain works. My entire personality is based around reason and logic. I'd be lying to myself if I said I was religious in any sense. That doesn't mean I can't respect or appreciate it because it is ridiculously important to history and culture, but I'm never going to engage in it, or pretend that there's even a tiny chance that any of this stuff could possibly have ever happened. You might be saying, what the fuck has this got to do with anything right now? Well, it fits in perfectly with the way this film presents itself. So while this film is really stupid and dumb and full of idiotic opinions, and it's pretty condescending actually, what's even the point of calling Kirk and the team out on it, because nothing anyone says is ever going to change the way they think. I mean, if you look on his Facebook page, the millions of people who support him all think the exact same way. We can get as mad as we want, send them mean tweets, complain about them, but they don't give a fuck. They're perfectly content in their heads. So going back to this dumb fucking movie, it sucks and I hate it and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I know people like it when I go through everything that happens in the movie, but what's the point? It would be a waste of everyone's time for something like this. It really would. It's manipulative, pointless garbage, and that's all you need to know. Oh wait, actually, okay, there is one funny bit in the Santa Claus backstory thing where he has a battle in this hilariously out of touch dubstep fight scene.
Yes!
What the fuck is happening? This is so out of touch.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh yeah, and there's this really, really bizarre bit that completely comes out of nowhere and is never even addressed again, where these people that we've never spent time with before really have a very, very paranoid discussion about how people who aren't Christian are ruining Christmas for them, or how they're taking it away for it, and it's some big conspiracy. It's so weird and dumb.
They're already taking away our freedom of speech. I can't say Merry Christmas at work no more. I have to say Happy Holidays, but I am not in the days. I am wide awake. It's deeper than that, though. You heard about Area 51?
I really just hate this movie. I want to die because of this movie. I don't even consider this a movie. I don't consider this to be anything. It's completely worthless to me. Not one of you out there should ever watch this. It's not even funny bad. It's just boring. Unless, of course, you're a devout Kirk Cameron supporter who wants to feel good about why they're a devout Kirk Cameron supporter. In which case, more power to you. Enjoy your shitty movie. Looking at this in the big picture, comparatively to the other films in the series, this is probably one of the worst, actually. It's something you can so easily point at and say, yes, there is nothing of value here. Like, completely objectively, this film fucking sucks. The filmmaking is tiresome and lazy. It can't even be entertaining in the most basic and simple ways. Not even ironically. How sad is that? It's a waste of motherfucking time for everybody. I'm really pissed off now, and I just want to sleep and think about Kirk Cameron's sexy face and unique coffee brand. Yes, he sells coffee too. There's even a special Saving Christmas blend. I'm gonna end the video now. And up next in the search for the worst is... oh boy, The Amazing Bulk. Well, finally, something that's hopefully gonna be funny bad, although it'll probably just end up insulting me anyway. They always do. So those are my thoughts on Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas. So what do you think? Actually, you know what, scratch that. Like, only tell me what you think if you're calm enough, you're thoughtful enough to be able to come across like a sane human, okay? Try and just don't make me turn the comments off, please. I hope you were able to take something away from this, or at least laugh. I don't know, I just love sniffing glue. So whatever, thanks for watching. All comments and ratings are very much appreciated. Make sure you check out some of my other videos and the trying to watch for this episode. It's a pretty good one, I think. I've also started a podcast that I host on Jar Media. Check that out. It's more of a free-form discussion thing. There's a link somewhere here at the end or something. I'll see you next time. Bye!